Now I know in my last video I came off really angry and hurt and spiteful and everything, and I meant every word of it. But I realized the way I stated it and the way I phrased it wasn't exactly great. The simple truth is I'm still hurting, and I'm trying to realize why, because in reality that person that I was with, she was a really great person, but it's so weird once you've broken up with a person, or more to the point, they've broken up with you, every positive experience you've ever had with a person somehow takes on a negative light. Um, I don't understand why this happens, though I accept the fact that it does. So yeah, it's like every time I remember something that was wonderful and fantastic that we did, a trip we took, a place we went and everything, even looking through photographs and whatnot, it suddenly takes on this feeling of spite and hatred. But I realized all wishing her all this harm and negativity and trying to send these vibrations her way really in reality isn't going to do anything, because she's moved on with her life. She moved on with your life before you were even out of her house. Simple, sad truth. So you wishing her harm and having all this negative karma that you're just brooding about, that you're just putting out there into the ether, really doesn't achieve anything except for to bring yourself down, which is not what you're trying to. You're trying to send out negative karma to bring the other person down. This doesn't work. So move on, which is harder to do than to obviously say, because the longer you're with a person, the more memories you accumulate. The more memories you accumulate, the more you somehow remember stupid stuff about so on and so on. They all take on this thing where they almost become a sickening memory that you much rather erase. And that's why when I said I would gladly give up my most prized possession, my vagina, in order to have all these memories erased, that's what I really meant. Because now, all these things that were happy, somehow, they're just not happy anymore. But anyway, I digress, I recap, and now I move on. So what's been going on with me? I've been doing a lot of little projects and whatnot, keeping myself busy, because I've been really contemplating, and it's been nagging at me, what do I do with the rest of my life? So I know the answer isn't to do a bunch of art projects and keep yourself occupied and busy, but until I actually break or crack or figure it out or get up enough nerve to do what it is I need to do to progress with my life, that's what it really is because I keep on coming up with excuses on why I can't do. And of course, can't is one of those negative words, and you should never use negative words, because the second you've used negative words, you're reinforcing the said behavior. Blah, 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 blah. This is what happens when you try to date a girl who wants to become a head shrinker. And not a cool head shrinker. At first when she said you wanted to be a head shrinker, I was like, yes, someone that wants to revive the art of shrinking human heads. I digress. I move on. God, that was a total waste of time. In fact, I'm going to cut that all out. And when you ask what the heck I was cutting out, you'll never know. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much what's up with me. Greetings, and this is my second rant for the evening. Lately, since my person that I've been shacking up with that I do have some feelings for, and that's another thing I wanted to cover, and it's really so stressful for me because I'm so fucked up from my past relationship that there's this other girl, but I won't dare let myself get close because I'm not going to lower my guard, because you know what happens when you fall in love with a person. When you fall in love with a person, you leave yourself open so that they can totally hurt you. Of course, they would argue the fact that you fucked yourself up, yada, 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 etc., 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 and that, they really didn't need your help because they're going to try to get back at you just like you want to desperately get back at them, and you will start saying petty stuff back and forth. In fact, you probably won't even say it back and forth. You'll just make brief phone calls trying to figure out how the other person's doing, because somehow a part of you still desperately cares even though you don't want to. Yeah, which really sucks. Especially when your ex is speaking to the person that's your current not-so-ex, and they get to corresponding and talking all the time, and they're talking about you. Of course they're talking about you. Why wouldn't they be talking about you? So joy. So then you're kind of feeling like, oh great, anything I say can and will be used against me. Well, Ari did this. Oh yeah, well she used to do that all the time, and yeah, that's just totally, Yeah, like I didn't feel paranoid enough before. By the way, if you don't know me, you'll know that I'm really paranoid by my own flipping nature alone. So much so that I just try to start predicting what other people are going to say before they even start saying it. Finish the whole conversation before they utter a word. You don't even need to say it. If you say either of these things, it's a possibility that it's going to go down this way, and I have to arm myself. I'm ready for your slanderous remarks or your criticism, be it negative or positive. I will find a way. I will block it. Yes, I know that's not healthy. Once again, and I do acknowledge that, but that's kind of where I'm at. So of course I feel awkward the fact that the girl I'm currently shacking up with that I can't fall in love with, because falling in love means that she can really fuck me up and hurt me. And because we all know the second that happens, they pretty much have your heart and they can go, Shiva, Kale, 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 Kale. Yeah, I would edit in Indiana Jones music to help you get the reference, but I'm not that savvy. So yeah, that's really where I'm at. I'm really fucked up. I mean, I do like this girl. I really do. Even though, I'm really worried because I feel like the weight of everything's on my shoulders and everything. And the worst part is I haven't even had any really good stuff on a regular basis. That would just make everything so much better if I could just get my hands on the little tetrahydrocannabinoids. Oh, I miss my Mary. Mary won't leave me. Mary will never let me down. She's always there when I can afford her company. Maybe I should invest in that instead of all these little projects to try to make a... So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's almost been a year since my surgery, and yeah, I still have a couple months. I want to get a tattoo. If I can afford it. I have a really great one designed for myself, of course. I think it's great, and that's what matters. And that's another thing, girls, guys, whatever. If you're getting a tattoo, get something that's meaningful, that means a lot to you. Don't get something because it looks cool. Don't get something because it's hip at the time. And don't go with a band logo that happens to have corn that you happen to have tattooed across your breast 3 months before the monkey ends up converting to Christianity and, oh, excuse me, and the whole band falls apart and it's never the same since. Now you have this logo called Korn from better years when the band was your most favorite obsession, and now they're not. But that's just my thought, not that I know that anyone that would have ever done that. And I still love them in spite of it. Hey, come back here. I can't see myself, and I'm vain. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. You're so vain. This one time at Camp Trans, this one girl tried to get into the Women's Folk Festival, but they said she couldn't go in the Women's Folk Festival because she wasn't born a woman, so she wasn't a woman born a woman. And then I would ask, what's a woman born a woman? But anyway, that's a whole different rant. I'm sorry, but the spirit of the angry transgendered woman that hates all dykes that happen. Sorry, got stuck there for a moment. But yeah, that does irritate the hell out of me. Women that it can't be, women spelled Y. You know what? I think Camp Trans needs a thing where they throw awesome festivals, but no women spelled Y should be allowed in. If women-born women are the only ones allowed in the Women's Folk Festival, then any women that spell women with a Y should not be allowed in the Transgender Folk Festival. So say it, Tiari.